I tell people that I caught the very end of what Venice used to be, and I was around to be able to see the foundation of what Venice is now. Born and raised is this brand based out of Venice, from a Venice local, but it helps paint that picture in a good way with the whole gentrification is genocide campaign that he had pushed. Gentrification was huge in Venice for me because growing up, Venice was it was a tight knit community, as dangerous as it was growing up because of the influences that were outside of our community. I found myself getting profiled a lot because I was a brown kid in this neighborhood that was becoming more and more populated by a richer standard of people. So moving into middle school, the neighborhood had just started changing for me. Things were starting to differ from normalcy, you could say. It was a lot different of an experience, and I learned that in my 7th grade year. I was walking home one day, and I had to take a bus home, the city bus, and so I had stopped a couple blocks away from where I lived, and kind of in the area I live to describe, it's layers of streets, you could say. It's like there's one block, and then it's an alleyway, and then another set of apartments, and that becomes the next street over. And then it crosses over to across the street, another alleyway, another set of apartments, and then you're on the next street. So on one of the streets behind the one that I lived, there was an incident that had occurred, which involved a man wearing a black hoodie and khakis. And I went to a middle school in the marina called Westside, where our uniform was a green shirt and khakis. But I never liked the look of the green shirt, so I would always wear a black hoodie or just any kind of hoodie. So I remember walking home. Here comes this brown kid with a black hoodie, some khakis. I had some Vans on, and I was wearing my backpack. And I had a hat on too. We couldn't wear hats at school, but I always ended up wearing one because, truth be told, I really didn't care. So I'd be wearing hats at school. So walking home, I had an LA hat on, a black hoodie. I had some khakis, some black Vans. Perfect fit for the profile that the witness gave to the police. And so as I'm walking home, here come these policemen walking up to me from down the block. And I'm completely oblivious to the fact that something happened at the time. And the first thing the police asked me is, "Oh, where are you coming from?" I said, "I'm on my way home from school. I just got off the bus." And they say, "Okay, we need to check your backpack." They grabbed my backpack and they just threw it. And they put me in handcuffs. And it was such an odd experience because at the time I didn't know what was happening, but it had just seemed like routine because it was happening to others from what I was being told. So I was like, okay, something's gonna happen. At the time I thought I was just gonna get arrested and I wasn't gonna be, that whole, it was gonna be a situation of guilty till proven innocent. And I was the one that was guilty in their picture. So here I was in handcuffs. I was being led to the squad car to be put in the back seat. And a woman comes out and she says, "No, that wasn't him. That wasn't him. I know this kid. He grew up on the block behind us. He's not the person you're looking for." And the police at the time they were making such a huge struggle to try to get me put into that squad car. And the entire time I stayed quiet. I grew up learning, like, just if you're in a situation where you don't know what's going on, you don't have anything beneficial to say, don't say anything at all. I didn't have anything beneficial to say, so I was just staying quiet, just like, okay, I know this can go very bad if I say the wrong thing, and I don't know what the wrong thing to say would be. And so it just looked like I was just kind of letting things happen. which in a sense I was. And had it not been for this woman that came out to let them know like that I wasn't the person they were looking for, I probably would have gotten arrested that day, and I would have been held because it was on a Friday, so they would have held me over the weekend. Sucks, but that's just how that went. And I don't remember the woman's name, but a huge thank you to her, because that definitely saved me a lot of trouble and a lot of unwanted action.